got straight on a plane to return. Seeing my wife have to be her strongest and knowing that it's the scariest of news.
Brad Pitt's love life has always been in the spotlight. From whirlwind romances to 2 headline-making marriages, his journey through love has been anything but boring. He's been linked to some of the most beautiful and famous women in Hollywood: Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston, and Angelina Jolie. Every relationship made headlines. Every breakup left fans talking. But through it all, there's one woman who seems to have left a mark no one else could. And after all these years, Brad is finally opening up about her. Who is she? And why does he still hold her close to his heart? Join us as we go deep into Brad's past and uncover the one love that truly stayed with him. The early romances before fame hit. One of Brad Pitt's earliest relationships was with British pop singer Sunita. They reportedly dated from 1986 to 1988. Years later, Sunita described Pitt as beautiful, with the most amazing body. She said he was fun, young, and very sweet. Their relationship happened before Pitt became famous, and when she later saw Thelma and Louise, she said, "Oh my God, what have I done?" She also shared that a fan once slapped her outside a supermarket because of their relationship. After Sunita, Pitt dated actress Jill Schoelen. They met while filming a horror movie called Cutting Class in the late 1980s. Their relationship didn't last long. Following that, voice actress E.G. Daily came into the picture. In Pitt's True Hollywood Story, she called him deep, souled, and super cute. She felt a strong connection with him and described him as intense about his work. She said, "What I could feel from him was a really strong, visceral drive towards something really big." Even after their brief time together, they stayed friends. Robin Givens was another woman linked to Pitt. They worked together on Head of the Class and grew close when Givens and her then-husband, Mike Tyson, were going through a separation. Tyson later wrote in his memoir, Undisputed Truth, that he once pulled into his driveway and saw Givens in a car with Pitt. He also claimed he found them in bed together. But Givens told a different story in a 2019 interview. She said the part about the driveway was true. "He caught you and Brad Pitt pulling up in the driveway of the house." "Oh, pulling up in the driveway." "Yes, that part's true," I thought, "but the part about being in bed never happened. Never, ever, ever happened." She said, "'Cause I didn't." The part about the driveway was true. He caught you and Brad Pitt pulling up in the driveway of the house. "Oh, pulling up in the driveway." "Yes, that part's true." I thought, but the part about being in bed never happened. Never, ever, ever happened. She said, "'Cause I didn't read the book. I was told that he says he caught us in bed, which never happened. Which never happened. Oh, never, ever, ever." Wow. As for the car, she explained they were just coming from a screening. Pitt also shared a moment in the spotlight with Christina Applegate. They were seen together a few times and even went to the 1989 MTV Movie Awards as a couple. But during the event, Applegate ditched Pitt for another guy. In 2015, during a Plead the Fifth segment on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, she wouldn't say who the mystery man was. She also said she didn't end up dating either, him or Pitt, after that night that you ditched Brad Pitt for. How many fifths do I get? You had your fifth. Then came Juliette Lewis. She and Pitt started dating in late 1989 and were together until 1993. They worked together on the films California and Too Young to Die. Even after the breakup, Pitt spoke warmly about her. In a Vanity Fair interview 2 years later, he said, "I still love the woman. There's some real genius there. I had a great time with her. It was one of the greatest relationships I've ever been in." He added, "The problem is, we grow up with this vision that love conquers all, and that's just not so, is it?" As for Juliette, she later shared that she didn't enjoy the constant focus on Pitt in the press. In 2014, she told people that people needed to move on. It's usually about Brad Pitt or drug addiction, which hasn't been me since I was 22. I'm 40. I quit all my bulls at 22. There is growth. Get out of the past. From red carpets to real emotions. Pitt also had a brief moment with model Jetka Pollock. She went with him to the Legends of the Fall premiere in November 1994. Although neither of them spoke much about the relationship, Podkey later said, "The man glows." But it was his romance with Gwyneth Paltrow that truly stood out. They met on the set of the 1995 film C7N, where Paltrow played his wife. Off-screen, their relationship grew quickly. In his 1996 Golden Globe speech, Pitt called her his angel and the love of his life. Later that year, the couple got engaged, but in June 1997, they out. They met on the set of the 1995 film C7N, where Paltrow played his wife. Off-screen, their relationship grew quickly. In his 1996 Golden Globe speech, Pitt called her his angel and the love of his life. Later that year, the couple got engaged, but in June 1997, they called it off. Paltrow later said that her father, Bruce Paltrow, was heartbroken by the split because he adored Pitt. Even after their breakup, Pitt and Paltrow remained close. In a 2022 conversation, he told her, "It's lovely to have you as a friend now." She also looked back on their time together with strong feelings. In May 2023, during the Call Her Daddy podcast, she said it was major love at first sight when they met on the set. She shared a memory of Pitt proposing to her one night on a balcony in Argentina. "I wish I remembered exactly what he said," she said, "but he proposed. It was fantastic. I was thrilled." She remembered that they had, talked about getting engaged, but the actual moment still came as a surprise. "I must have been 24. She said that the memory shared years later gives a small glimpse into what their relationship truly meant. It wasn't just a public romance, it had deep personal moments. And while the world remembers the red carpets, the Ihijam real story may be in the quiet places no one saw. After his relationship with Gwyneth Paltrow came another love story, this time with Jennifer Aniston. And though it started quietly, it would soon become one of Hollywood's most talked about romances. The first spark between Brad and Jen. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston met for the first time in 1994. It was not a romantic moment at the time. They were introduced by their managers. Aniston once said that her first impression of Brad was that he was just a sweet guy from Missouri. She added, "A normal guy." But it wasn't until 1998 that things began to change between them. By then, both were single. Aniston had ended her relationship with actor Tate Donovan, and Pitt had just called off his engagement to Gwyneth Paltrow. Their managers brought them together again. This time, they clicked. Aniston later told Diane Sawyer that their first date was easy and fun. Soon, the media started watching their every move. In September 1999, they made their red carpet debut as a couple at the Emmy Awards. Pitt wore silver sunglasses, and Aniston wore a sparkling dress. Fans loved seeing them together. Just 2 months later, during a Sting concert in New York City, they announced their engagement. Aniston showed off a diamond and platinum ring. Designed, they made their red carpet debut as a couple at the Emmy Awards. Pitt wore silver sunglasses, and Aniston wore a sparkling dress. Fans loved seeing them together. Just 2 months later, during a Sting concert in New York City, they announced their engagement. Aniston showed off a diamond and platinum ring designed by Silvia Damiani. People later reported that Pitt spent 7 months working on the ring side by side. Designed on July 29, 2000, Brad and Jennifer got married in Malibu, California. It was a star-studded event with 200 guests. There were 50,000 flowers, 4 bands, a gospel choir, and even fireworks. Jennifer's father, actor John Aniston, walked her down the aisle and later told people, "Jennifer looked beautiful. It was a spectacular wedding." The bride wore a beaded gown made of silk and satin by designer Lawrence Steele. Some reports said the wedding cost nearly $1 million. After the wedding, They continued to appear together at major events. Their first red carpet as a married couple was at the 2000 Emmy Awards. In 2001, Pitt even guest starred on Aniston's show, Friends, during the Thanksgiving episode titled The One with the Rumor. He played a character who didn't like Rachel Green, Aniston's role on the show. She later said, "Mr. Pitt was wonderful." In January 2002, they attended the Golden Globes together, matching in black suits and similar blonde hair. That same year, the couple launched Plan B Entertainment with producer Brad Gray. Aniston told The Guardian that they kept the company quiet at first because they didn't want people to think it was just a vanity project. By 2004, the company had 17 films in production, including Troy and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But as their work lives took off, their personal life faced pressure when love faced questions. In 2003, Jennifer interviewed with WW magazine, where the reporter called Brad the love of her life. But Jennifer was not sure about using that phrase. "Is he the love of my life?" she said. "I think you're always sort of wondering, are you the love of my life? I mean, I don't know. I've never been someone who says he's the love of my life. He's certainly a big love in my life," she added. "And I know that we have something special, especially in all this chaos, in this nutty, brilliant, wonderful, hard business that we have. It's nice to have somebody who's anchored and knows you, really knows all of you." In 2004, Aniston gave another interview, this time to The Guardian, and spoke about starting a family. She said, "It's time. It's time. You know, I think you can work with a baby. I think you... Nice to have somebody who's anchored and knows you, really knows all of you." In 2004, Aniston gave another interview, this time to The Guardian, and spoke about starting a family. She said, "It's time. It's time. You know, I think you can work with a baby. I think you can work while pregnant. I think you can do all of it. So, I'm just truly looking forward to slowing down." It sounded like she was ready for a new chapter. But just months later, in January 2005, Brad and Jennifer announced their separation. The couple gave a joint statement to People saying, "We would like to announce that after 7 years together, we have decided to formally separate." They also addressed Theramores, saying, "Our separation is not the result of any of the speculation reported by the tabloid media. This decision is the result of much thoughtful consideration." They ended the message by asking for kindness and privacy, and added, "We happily remain committed and caring friends with great love and admiration for one another." After the goodbye, a bond that shifted. On March 25, 2005, Jennifer officially filed for divorce from Brad Pitt. She cited irreconcilable differences and asked to change her last name back to Aniston. The divorce was finalized on October 2, 2005. That same month, she gave a long interview to Vanity Fair. She spoke openly about the pain and the public attention. "There are many stages of grief." She said, "It's sad, something coming to an end. It cracks you open in a way. Cracks you open to feeling. When you try to avoid the pain, it creates greater pain. I'm a human being, having a human experience in front of the world. I wish it weren't in front of the world. I try really hard to rise above it." She also shared her reaction to photos of Pitt and Angelina Jolie in Kenya. "I can't say it was one of the highlights of my year. Who would deal with that and say, 'Isn't that sweet? That looks like fun?' But then she joked and said, 'What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.' Still, she wanted the media to stop making her a part of a love triangle. She said, 'I would much rather everyone move on. I am not defined by this relationship. I am not defined by the part the media is making me play in the triangle. It's maddening to me.' In later years, things became more peaceful. After Pitt split from Jolie in 2017, reports said he and Aniston started texting again. He even attended her 50th birthday party in 2019. In 2020, fans were thrilled to see their happy, making me play in the triangle. It's maddening to me. In a TV, later years, things became more peaceful. After Pitt split from Jolie in 2017, reports said he and Aniston started texting again. He even attended her 50th birthday party in 2019. In 2020, fans were thrilled to see their happy reunion at the Screen Actors Guild Awards and during a table read for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But those hoping for a romantic comeback were disappointed. In 2018, a source told People they broke up, and they did it because they had serious issues. They're not stupid. They remember why it didn't work. And in 2021, Aniston herself confirmed it. Speaking to Howard Stern, she said that she and Pitt are buddies and friends. Their love story may have ended, but the respect remained. After his relationship with Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt's love life took a different turn, one that would capture just as much attention, if not more. Brad and Angelina Jolie met in 2003 while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. At that time, Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston. Jolie spoke about their time working together in a 2007 interview with Vogue. She said they didn't fall in love immediately, but enjoyed working closely. Because of the film, we ended up being brought together to do all these crazy things, and I think we found this strange friendship and partnership that kind of just suddenly happened, she said. Jolie shared that a few months into filming, she started to feel different. I think a few months in, I realized, God, I can't wait to get to work. She said they found joy in working together and became a real team. She added, we just became kind of a pair. At the time, Jolie said she didn't know much about Brad's personal life, but it was clear he was with his best friend, someone he loves and respects, she explained. She said it wasn't until the end of filming that they started to realize their connection might mean something more. Both of them knew it was serious and would need to be handled carefully. Brad and Jennifer Aniston separated in January 2005, and later that same year, Jolie adopted her second child, Zahara Marley. She was already a mom to Maddox, and by January 2006, both kids had their last names changed to Jolie Pitt. A close friend of the couple told People, it's the idea that you love one another and you want to create a family together. What's beautiful is you can do it by birth or by adoption. That same month, Jolie confirmed she was pregnant with Brad's child, In Jolie Pitt. A close friend of the couple told People, it's the idea that you love one another and you want to create a family together. What's beautiful is you can do it by birth or by adoption. That same month, Jolie confirmed she was pregnant with Brad's child. In May 2006, the couple welcomed daughter Shiloh Neville. In December that year, they made their red carpet debut as a couple at the New York City premiere of Jolie's film, The Good Shepherd. Their family continued to grow the next year when they adopted a son, Pax Tiene, from Vietnam. Then, in February 2008, Jolie appeared at the Independent Spirit Awards with a visible baby bump. It was later revealed she was expecting twins. On July 12, 2008, Jolie gave birth to a boy, Knox Leon, and a girl, Vivian Marilyn. Speaking to People after the twins were born, Jolie said, it is chaos, but we are managing it and having a wonderful time. Their life was busy, but full of love, and their growing family stayed in the spotlight from family to fallout. By 2012, Brad and Angelina's children had started asking their parents to get married. That April, the couple's rep confirmed they were engaged. The ring was estimated to be worth around $1 million. On August 23, 2014, they got married at the chapel on their estate in France, called Chateau Miraval. Jolie wore a wedding dress that had her children's artwork sewn into the fabric. The couple even let the kids help them write their wedding vows. They told People, it was important to us that the day was relaxed and full of laughter. It was such a special day to share with our children and a very happy time for our family. During their honeymoon, they worked together again on a film called By the Sea, which came out in 2015. But just over 2 years after the wedding, things changed. On September 20, 2016, Jolie filed for divorce. A statement from her rep said, Angelina Jolie Pitt has filed for dissolution of the marriage. This decision was made for the health of the family. She will not be commenting at this time and asks that the family be given their privacy during this difficult time. Brad also released a short statement saying, "I am very saddened by this, but what matters most now is the well-being of our kids. I kindly ask the press to give them the space they deserve during this challenging time." Soon after, news came out that there had been a serious argument on a private plane. It was reported that things became physical. Brad denied ever hitting any of the well-being of our kids is important. "I kindly ask the press to give them the space they deserve during this challenging time." Soon after, news came out that there had been a serious argument on a private plane. It was reported that things became physical. Brad denied ever hitting any of the children. The Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services looked into it and found no proof of abuse. The FBI also closed the case and did not charge Brad. By April 2019, a judge declared that Brad and Angelina were legally single. Still, their legal fight didn't end there. It took years to settle everything. They didn't fully finish the custody and financial agreements until December 2024, when a judge finally approved the terms of their divorce. Even after all that, one issue remains unresolved. The battle over their winery is still ongoing, and it continues to bring them back to court. The relationship that began with joy and laughter on a movie set ended with a long and difficult legal process. But the full story is still not over. After his split from Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt took some time before stepping back into the dating world. In April 2018, he was seen spending time with MIT professor and architect Neri Oxman. A source told people it took him a long time to date, but he is now. The source also mentioned that Pitt was inspired by his friend George Clooney's marriage to Amal. He was looking for someone who could challenge him, especially in terms of intelligence. Even though rumors spread, Oxman denied dating Pitt later that year, but she still praised him, saying he was the last of the Mohicans in post-Netflix Hollywood. She added, "He brings together the timely and the timeless, which is what cinema is all about." Not long after, Pitt was linked to model Nicole Poturalski in the summer of 2020. Reports say they had known each other for at least a year before their romance became public. One witness said they were very flirty at a 2019 Berlin Film Festival party for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By August 2020, they were spotted at Chateau Miraval in France. A source said they were enjoying each other's company while traveling. An insider also spoke highly of Poturalski, saying, "She has spunk. She's smart. If she's dating Brad, good for her, good for him." But the connection didn't last. By October, another source said the two were never really in a relationship. "Brad hasn't seen Nicole since August," the source explained. It was never a relationship. They saw each other a few times, and that's it. Dating Brad was good for her and good for him. But the connection didn't last. By October, another source said the two were never really in a relationship. "Brad hasn't seen Nicole since August," the source explained. It was never a relationship. They saw each other a few times, and that's it. You can't call it a split because they were never together in the first place. It was a casual fling, and that's it. Still, in January 2022, one source said that Pitt still keeps in touch with Poturalski, but his name didn't disappear from the headlines just yet. Slow steps towards something real. In late September 2022, Brad Pitt was linked to model Emily Ratajkowski. She had just separated from her husband, Sebastian Bear McLard. A source told people that Brad and Emily were spending a lot of time together, but friends weren't sure if it was serious. Another insider said the two didn't appear to be dating formally. As October came, more sources started to share details. One source close to Ratajkowski said the timing was right, and she wasn't looking for anything too serious. "There is nothing like Brad Pitt cheering you up," the source said. Another insider said she has the vibes that Brad likes. She's bright and articulate. They also mentioned that she shares his interest in art. A third source added, "They have a lot to talk about and always have a great time when they hang out." There was attraction, They have had a few dates and stay in touch when they don't see each other, the source explained. But by the end of 2022, someone else had entered Brad's life. On November 13, 2022, Pitt was seen with Inez de Ramon at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. She had quietly separated from her husband, Paul Wesley, earlier that year. Later in November, a source close to Inez confirmed that she and Brad had been dating for a few months. The source also said that they met through a mutual friend and that Brad was really into her. In December 2022, the two attended the premiere of Pitt's film Babylon and were seen together at the after-party. Just days later, they celebrated Pitt's 59th birthday. The couple was photographed arriving at an Italian restaurant in Hollywood. Brad had a birthday party dinner with Ines and friends on Saturday night. A source told people guests brought gifts, and the group shared a lot of Italian food. Brad even got a birthday treat, and the group sang Happy Birthday. The same source said he was in the best mood. He sat next to Inez. They were very cute and flirty. You could tell that they brought gifts, and the group shared a lot of Italian food. Brad even got a birthday treat, and the group sang Happy Birthday. The same source said he was in the best mood. He sat next to Ines. They were very cute and flirty. You could tell that she makes him happy. By February 2024, Ines had moved into Brad's Los Angeles home. In July, a source shared, "Things have been amazing since they moved in together. It's more of a serious relationship than just dating. Brad loves so many things about her. She's great for him." The couple finally made their red carpet debut in September 2024 at the Wolf's premiere during the Venice Film Festival. Brad, once guarded and private, was now walking beside someone who seemed to truly lift his spirits, and the world was watching. The past never faded. Even years after their divorce, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston have remained in each other's lives in small but meaningful ways. In September 2007, 2 years after their split, Pitt spoke to V magazine and said, "Jen and I still maintain a deep friendship and have a lot of life together that isn't erased in any way." Speaking about the separation, he added, "I don't know how better to have handled it. My view was that this was no one's business in the end, at least in matters of the heart. The thing guiding me then was, you don't know how many days you have, and you need life to be everything you need it to be." Time passed, but the public's curiosity about them never went away. Then, on January 19, 2020, the two reunited backstage at the SAG Awards. Aniston had just won the award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series for The Morning Show. Pitt and Aniston shared a smiling embrace backstage. The moment was caught on camera and quickly went viral. It had been 15 years since their divorce, and just one hug was enough to make fans believe something was still there. A source told people that Jen was happy for Brad. They congratulated each other, and that was it. Still, the warmth between them was clear. Both actors had won awards that night, and their friendly moment became the most talked-about part of the event. But that was only the beginning of their quiet return into each other's public lives. Friends, not strangers. On September 18, 2020, Brad and Jennifer shared the screen again. It was their first time acting together since their split. The two joined a star-studded virtual table read of Fast Times at Ridgemont High to raise money for Sean Penn's nonprofit CORE. Each other's public lives. Friends, not strangers. On September 18, 2020, Brad and Jennifer shared the screen again. It was their first time acting together since their split. The two joined a star-studded virtual table read of Fast Times at Ridgemont High to raise money for Sean Penn's nonprofit CORE and Reform Alliance. Brad and Jen played romantic characters from the 1982 film and even had a steamy scene in which Brad's character has a fantasy about Jen's. Their co-stars laughed during the moment, but all eyes were on the former couple's chemistry. Not long after, Aniston appeared on The Howard Stern Show and talked about the experience. She said, "It was absolutely fun. Brad and I are buddies. We're friends." She made it clear there was nothing awkward about it. "We speak, and there's no oddness at all except for everyone that probably watched it and was wanting there to be, or assumed there to be, she said. Aniston also spoke about how they had fun doing the reading and were happy to support a good cause. While fans kept hoping for a romantic reunion, both actors stayed honest about where they stood. Back in 2006, just 1 year after their divorce, Aniston had already shared her hope that they could one day be friends again. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she said, "I really do hope that someday we can be friends again." She didn't speak with bitterness, but with love and honesty. "I love Brad. I really love him. I will love him for the rest of my life. He's a fantastic man. I don't regret any of it, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it." She continued, "We spent 7 very intense years together. We taught each other a lot about healing and about fun. We helped each other through a lot, and I really value that. It was a beautiful, complicated relationship." She admitted that what hurt her most was not the end itself, but how the public reduced it to a cliché. "The sad thing for me is the way it's been reduced to a Hollywood cliché. Or maybe it's just a human cliché. I have a lot of compassion for everyone going through this." Her words stayed true over time, and years later, her actions showed she still meant them. Her words stayed true over time, and years later, her actions showed she still meant them. They laughed, supported each other, and stood side by side, even if only as friends. But with every reunion, every shared smile, and every honest word between them, one thing still lingers in the hearts of fans everywhere. Many still believe that Jennifer, her actions showed she still meant them. They laughed, supported each other, and stood side by side, even if only as friends. But with every reunion, every shared smile, and every honest word between them, one thing still lingers in the hearts of fans everywhere. Many still believe that Jennifer Aniston is and always was the love of Brad Pitt's life. What do you think about Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's relationship? Should they have given their relationship one more chance? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from Hollywood's fascinating history. See you next time. Not long after, Brad Pitt became associated with model Nicole Poturalski during the summer of 2020. Reports indicate that they had been acquainted for at least a year prior to their romance being revealed. An observer noted that they were quite flirtatious at a 2019 party for the Berlin Film Festival showcasing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By August 2020, they were seen together at Chateau Miraval in France. A source mentioned that they appeared to be enjoying their time together while traveling. An insider complimented Poturalski, stating, "She has spunk. She's intelligent, if she's dating Brad. Good for both of them." However, the relationship was short-lived. By October, another source revealed that the two were never genuinely involved. Brad hadn't seen Nicole since August, the source clarified. It wasn't a relationship. They met a few times and that was it. While dating Brad seemed beneficial for both, the connection was fleeting. By October, another source reiterated that their relationship was not meaningful. Brad hadn't been in contact with Nicole since August, as explained by the source. It wasn't a true relationship. They met occasionally, and that was all. It's not accurate to label it a breakup because they were never truly together. It was merely a casual affair. Nonetheless, in January 2022, one source reported that Pitt still maintained communication with Poturalski, but his name remained in the headlines. Gradual steps toward something more substantial occurred. In late September 2022, Brad Pitt was connected to model Emily Ratajkowski, who had recently separated from her spouse, Sebastian Bear McLeod. A source informed People that Brad and Emily were spending considerable time together, yet friends were uncertain about the seriousness of their relationship. Another insider indicated that they did not seem to be formally dating. As October approached, additional sources began to provide insights. One source close to Ratajkowski indicated that the timing was appropriate, and she wasn't seeking anything overly serious. "There's nothing quite like Brad Pitt to lift your spirits, the source remarked. Another insider noted that she possesses the qualities Brad finds appealing. She is bright and articulate, with a shared interest in art. A third source added, they have plenty to discuss and always enjoy their time together. There was undeniable attraction. They've gone on a few dates and stay in touch when apart, the source elaborated. However, by the end of 2022, another individual entered Brad's life. On November 13, 2022, Pitt was seen with Inez de Ramon at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. She had quietly parted ways with her husband, Paul Wesley, earlier that year. Later in November, a source close to Inez confirmed that she and Brad had been dating for several months. The source also mentioned that they were introduced through a mutual friend and that Brad was genuinely interested in her. In December 2022, the couple attended the premiere of Pitt's film Babylon and were seen together at the after-party. Just days later, they celebrated Pitt's 59th birthday. The couple was photographed arriving at an Italian restaurant in Hollywood. Brad hosted a birthday dinner with Inez and friends, where guests brought presents, and they shared plenty of Italian cuisine. Brad even received a birthday treat, and the group sang Happy Birthday. The same source noted he was in excellent spirits, sitting next to Inez, who clearly made him happy. By February 2024, Inez had moved into Brad's home in Los Angeles. In July, a source disclosed, things have been fantastic since they started living together. It's a more serious relationship than just casual dating. Brad appreciates many aspects of her. She's wonderful for him. The couple made their red carpet debut in September 2024 at the premiere of Wolf during the Venice Film Festival. Brad, once known for being reserved and private, was now seen alongside someone who seemed to genuinely elevate his happiness, capturing the public's attention. The past has not faded. Even years post-divorce, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston have remained part of each other's lives in small yet significant ways. In September 2007, 2 years after their separation, Pitt shared with the Reunite magazine, "Jen and I still enjoy a deep friendship and have a lot of shared history that remains intact." Reflecting on their split, he added, "I'm not sure how I could have handled it better. My perspective was that this was ultimately no one's business, particularly when it comes to matters of the heart. What guided me then was the realization that life is fleeting, and you must ensure it fulfills your needs." As time passed, the public's interest in their relationship persisted. On January 19, 2020, the two reunited backstage at the SAG Awards. Aniston had just won for her outstanding performance in The Morning Show. Pitt and Aniston embraced warmly backstage, a moment captured on camera that quickly went viral. It had been 15 years since their divorce, and just that one hug ignited fans' belief that something still existed between them. A source told People that Jen was genuinely happy for Brad. They congratulated each other, and that was the end of it. Nonetheless, the warmth between them was undeniable. Both actors won awards that evening, and their friendly interaction became the highlight of the event. This marked the beginning of their gradual re-entry into each other's public lives. As friends, not strangers, Brad and Jennifer shared the screen again on September 18, 2020. This marked their first acting collaboration since their split. They participated in a star-studded virtual table read of Fast Times at Ridgemont High to support Sean Penn's nonprofit Core and Reform Alliance. In this reading, Brad and Jen portrayed romantic characters from the 1982 film, even engaging in a steamy scene where Brad's character fantasizes about Jen's. Their co-stars laughed during this moment, but the focus remained on the chemistry between the former couple. Soon after, Aniston appeared on The Howard Stern Show to discuss the experience. She remarked, "It was absolutely enjoyable. Brad and I are friends. We're buddies." She emphasized that there was nothing awkward about their interaction. "We talk, and there's no tension except for what viewers might expect or assume," she explained. Aniston also mentioned that they had fun during the reading and were pleased to support a worthy cause. While fans hoped for a romantic rekindling, both actors remained candid about their current relationship. Back in 2006, just a year after their divorce, Aniston expressed her desire for a future friendship with Pitt. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she stated, "I genuinely hope we can be friends again someday." She spoke without bitterness, emphasizing love and honesty. I love Brad. I truly love him. I will always have love for him. He's an incredible man. I don't regret any of it, and I won't berate myself for the past. She continued, "We shared 7 very intense years, learning about healing and joy together. We supported one another through much, and I deeply value that. It was a beautiful, complex relationship." She acknowledged that what hurt her most was not the separation itself, but how the public reduced it to a cliché. "The saddest part for me is how it has been trivialized as a Hollywood cliché. Or perhaps it's a human cliché. I have deep compassion for anyone experiencing this." Her sentiments remained consistent over time. Years later, her actions reflected those feelings. They laughed, supported one another, and stood alongside each other, even if only as friends. However, with every reunion, every shared smile, and each sincere word exchanged, one thought continues to resonate in the hearts of fans everywhere. Many believe that Jennifer Aniston is, and has always been, the true love of Brad Pitt's life. What are your thoughts on Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's relationship? Should they have given their romance another chance? Share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating stories from Hollywood's intriguing history. See you next time.